Betty, I'm Michelle Alexander. I'm the manager for our 50 plus department and happy to have y'all here. And I want to give you guys a real quick tour here before we get started of our website, just so everybody knows exactly how to access that if you need any information in the future. So just real quick, I'm sharing my screen here with you. So this is our landing site for jcprd.com. And when you are on there to find us, you're going to go right here to activities. And then you have a little menu that pops up and you're going to go over here to all things 50 plus. So anything under here, and you can scroll down and you'll find travel right here. So you just click on that. That's going to take you to our travel page here where you can see there's the information about our travel shows, our phone number, and then you can decide if you would like to look at our extended travel, our day trips and our outings, regional tours or nature walks. And then you're all here for extended travel. So we will click on that and look here real quick. And if you didn't have a chance to view the video that Carrie sent in the link, it is out on here as well. And this just gives you a description of what happens after you sign up with a tour, the kinds of things that you can expect to get from 50 plus travel. And again, all of our contact information, and then all of the trips that we're offering. As soon as we have a trip ready to promote, we are putting it here on this page. And you just click on a picture and it's going to take you to that Collette website that is specific to our tour. So you'll see our logo on there too, but it is Colette's website and it's our particular tour that we're offering through them. So I just want to make sure that you guys have that information and you know that's where you can go if you are out on the web and want to check out what our tours are. So there you have it. And again, thank you for being here. And excited to hear about Santa Fe.
Perfect. All right. I'd like to introduce Kenny. He is going to tell us all about this trip. Kenny works for Collette, and so he's going to give us specific details and tell us all about it.
All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm very excited. My name is Kenny Judd, just to be talking about travel all day. You know, lately I've been stuck in meetings about cancellations and COVID and protocols over the last year. So to actually be talking about trips that are going to be going and traveling, I can't tell you how excited I am. We are truly seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And so, you know, with that being said, we're going to talk about specifically Spotlight on Santa Fe today. And the reason is because this is one of our top trending destinations in 2019. This was our #2 destination in domestically. And it, you know, at first we kind of had a lot of people know about the balloon fiesta and some of the other things, but we really started to dive in a little bit deeper on just Santa Fe and all that it has to offer. And so we wanted to put together what we call a spotlight on Santa Fe, which spotlight means one hotel stay. You know, I talk to people all the time about cruising and I ask them, you know, what do you love about cruising? And the #1 answer I get is, I don't have to pack and unpack. Well, you don't have to pack and unpack and move around and all that. You unpack one time, and that's what we're going to do here on this tour. So we have the Spotlight on Santa Fe from December 5th. My daughter got in here and changed a bunch of stuff to December 10th. So it does not go backwards. December 5th to December 10th. 6 days, 8 meals. We have 4 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and 2 dinners. And it has a couple of choices on tour. But, you know, one of the things about Santa Fe, and the reason it's become so popular, is it's really kind of the land of the enchantment, as they call it. It's kind of a really a delightful experience, especially in December. And there's so much to see from a historical standpoint. You know, you have the Southwestern air, some of the soul-warming cuisine, which we're going to have the opportunity to visit here at the Santa Fe Cooking School. And what we have to offer, as you can see, it's that one hotel stay, but we are going to kind of hub and spoke out and about. You know, we're going to get the National Monument. We're going to get in and out of Albuquerque and, you know, in Madrid, not Spain. We did that one this morning, but we are going to get to see here in New Mexico. But, you know, as we get in, you'll fly in, we'll get settled in right out of the gates, and you're going to kind of understand why Santa Fe is the city different. That's kind of what they call it. And tonight we're going to get to know some of your other travelers. We're going to get started with a welcome reception. And so what that means is you're going to have the opportunity to kind of learn a little bit about, you know, your other travelers, your tour manager, what that has. And we're going to do it literally steps from Santa Fe's iconic plaza. And it is one of those things that people actually just go nuts about once they stay here. It's very popular in this region. So we'll get you in, we'll get you settled in. You're going to have that welcome dinner. And then we're going to get started with a locally guided walking tour. And we'll have the opportunity to visit Santa Fe's plaza. As I mentioned, you know, we're just steps away. The historic heart of the city and the gathering place for Santa Fe for nearly 400 years. You know, here in the US, when we talk about 400, 500 years, that's a lot of history behind it. And you'll be able to see kind of the architecture that really reflects a traditional kind of Spanish American heritage. It's deemed a National Historic Landmark, as well as the plaza contains a park line full of gardens and some of the smiling locals. And of course, it's the holiday season, and that's one of the things that we love about it. So as we kind of roll throughout, you're going to be able to see the Christmas lights, decorations right here in the plaza, and you will undoubtedly feel the festive spirit of the city. And to me, especially coming out of the freeze that we just had, I love to go places that are a little bit warmer and a little bit different during, you know, some of these iconic holidays. Here, we're going to have the opportunity to include a stop at some of the city's landmark sites, which will include a lot of the history, you know, the mother of American modernism, you know, here, the Santa Fe Indian Market, where you can actually find unique handcrafted gifts. You know, I always talk about whenever I'm talking about tours, you know, it's easy to buy souvenirs that everybody has, but really getting some of these handcrafted, you know, handmade items, that is one of my favorite things to bring back. I've purchased everything that you can imagine for my two girls, but really it's jewelry such as this and the handcrafted necklaces or earrings. And it cracks me up because that's what they fall in love with. And so throughout this tour, you're going to get the opportunity to really bring some unique items home. We're going to visit the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. We're going to discover more than 3,000 breathtaking works from the artist, many refer to as the mother of American modernism, as I mentioned a minute ago. And O'Keeffe's distinctive art feature, kind of the nature and the landscapes of her surroundings. And, you know, this is one of the things that we're going to spend a lot of time in. You're going to get to really kind of look through and take in all of those works of art. We will then also have the opportunity to visit the Loreto Chapel, which is a former Roman Catholic church. It's turned into a wedding chapel and museum. You can see kind of the architecture that will give that Roman Catholic kind of feel to it. We'll have the opportunity to not just stop by and see it, but go in. And of course, you'll find the miraculous staircase. And this is a structure within origins as legendary as spiral shape. The staircase resembles a helix rising 20 feet from the ground level, very famous in this area. We'll have the opportunity to walk through, see it. I highly recommend you don't run up and down it. And during the holiday spirit, you can see that it's decorated. My favorite thing, my wife's favorite thing to do during the holidays is look at decorations, travel to places we've never been. I've taken her to the European holiday markets, and we have found some amazing Christmas markets and decorations here in the U.S., specifically domestic, nice, easy, short trip back and forth. And so here you can see it's decked out in the holiday spirit. And then tonight, we're going to try our hand at making a tamale at the Santa Fe School of Cooking. Everything is made with kind of a Southwest theme that includes different ingredients and gourmet flavors. The Santa Fe Cooking School is very well known in this region. In fact, it is one of the most popular cooking schools in the region, and it really does have some very unique fusions of different Native American, Spanish, Mexican flavors that kind of all come together in this region. And one of the things that I always talk about myself, I love spicy food. But when we talk about some of the Santa Fe fusions, you know, so many people think, oh, it's too spicy, it's this. It's not always about the spice. It is about the unique flavors that it brings together. So it's not always hot. It's just very unique how they kind of mix between Native American, Spanish, and Mexican flavors, and it comes together. Really is phenomenal. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're going to enjoy the cooking school. And people come from all over the place to actually just visit Santa Fe Cooking School. Day 3, we're going to get to kind of travel out a little bit in the scenic Turquoise Trail. On the way, we'll have the opportunity to see some of these beautiful, stunning views. You know, prehistoric people kind of made their homes. Spanish missionaries explored the area, and many battles were fought in this region. We're going to learn a lot about that. Here, the Turkish stones found in the area trail kind of takes you through the heart of Mexico. And that's where the trail names come from, is because of the turquoise stones. And that's where the name originates from, takes us right through the heart of New Mexico as we weave our way through the rolling hills, beautiful horizons in the background. People that live in Texas, this is one of their favorite places to get away. In fact, my boss, Elizabeth Simmons, she goes to Santa Fe and in this region in New Mexico a couple of times a year with her family. That's kind of their local getaway. We'll have the opportunity to head to the village of Madrid, a charming kind of hamlet stitched into the landscape of the Ortiz Mountains. Kind of once known as a major coal mining town. It's really revered now as a thriving artistic community. And that's one of the things that kind of really drew us to wanting to stay and have a spotlight type tour, is because of some of the unbelievable artistic, shows that are going on in the area. We're going to have lunch at a local tavern in town this afternoon. And so we'll get to spend there. And then we're going to visit the Alanhauser Sculpture Garden. I talked about some of these artists here. We're going to have the opportunity to see over 80 works by the prolific artist who has been kind of known as the most renowned Native American painters and modern sculptures in the 20th century. I'm originally from Oklahoma. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. And so, having the opportunity to see some of these, it really is fascinating. And not just the actual the sculptors and the paintings, but it's actually the history of the man himself. And we're going to learn a lot about that. Founded in 1976, it really is, it brings together the artist collection as we have the opportunity to kind of meander through the garden. It's a lot to learn and really take in, and it's a fascinating stop that we're going to spend some time in before we head back. Then day 4, we're going to head over to the Bandolier National Monument, which is a national site, of course, where the native Pueblo Indians settled in the sculpted canyons. Some of the mesa tops that you can see just west of Santa Fe. Spanning about 33,000 acres, the National Monument was established in 1916. Anytime you have the national parks, national monuments, any of the protected land, UNESCO World Heritage Sites, for me, those are some of my favorite areas to visit, because it is fascinating to really understand how people lived, how they grew, what happened during those times. And here you can kind of see that volcanic landscape right here in the cliff dwellings and the ruins of the Pueblo villages dating back to the 12th and 16th century. It really is fascinating. After a severe drought, the Pueblo inhabitants moved further along the Rio Grande. So you can almost see the migration because of the drought, where people went, how they had to live. We will have a guided elective walk, so you'll have the opportunity to discover more of the park's ancient ruins and thriving wildlife. What I mean by elective walk is, if you'd like to do it, we're going to go in a little bit more in depth to be able to see that. But if you don't, that's totally fine. You don't have to. We're not going to make people hike. We understand that some people don't want to do that. But those who are, really wanting to kind of experience some of the hiking, especially at the high elevations, we'll be able to do that. So you'll have some flexibility. If you don't want to, that's okay. You'll be able to enjoy the ruins in the area and just relax. After that, we're going to head over. We're going to savor an authentic New Mexican lunch before heading to Chimayo, and we'll visit the El Sunterendo de Mayo, which is the National Historic Landmark. It's basically a contemporary pilgrimage site. People come from all over the U.S. to visit this pilgrimage site. We're going to learn about the history behind that and what it means to people. It's really known for the miraculous healing powers of the Tierra Bendita, which is the holy dirt. The chapel is regarded as the most important Catholic pilgrimage site in the United States. So during Holy Week, pilgrims walk 30 to 90 miles to visit the sanctuary. So it really does have a lot of history, a lot of meaning from a faith perspective. Many different legends surround the origins of the site, including saints that were cured of illnesses, and a miraculous crucifix found on the hillside. So a lot of this you get to go in, you get to see. And from, when we talk about pilgrimages, so many times, we think about Fatima, we think about, France and all, Spain, all of these other places in Europe and all over the world. So it's very fascinating to be able to see that right before our eyes here in New Mexico. And then we're going to visit a Chimayo weaver and learn the fascinating process behind the traditional art. So some of these art styles date back 4 centuries. The process of actually weaving has been passed down from generation to generation. It's something that, you know, for me, this is a great area of buying that perfect gift for the holiday season. If you haven't done your Christmas shopping, if you want to bring something very unique and authentic, this is a great place to do that. You know, when I travel, I always try to bring back 1 or 2 very unique things about a destination that really spoke to me, that I can give to my kids or I can give to my wife, because, you know, I can get the souvenirs of just, you know, a picture of a flag or whatever the case is. I really like to give them things that I think down the road, you know, they can really start to experience and appreciate what travel is all about. Then we're going to give you the afternoon at leisure if you'd like to explore some of the intriguing Spanish village. And of course, all during the holiday season, you're going to see different kinds of decorations, and perhaps you can even try the town's heirloom chili pepper, which will add a little bit of heat to some of the local flavors. As I mentioned, I do absolutely love spicy food, so much so I forget whenever I do the cooking, and my kids absolutely throw a fit. But me and my wife love it, and so I highly encourage you to do as the locals do. Day 5, it's your choice, so you get to choose what you do that day. And so you can either have some interest in confectionery creations or the history of espionage to help you decide. I am obsessed with spies, so I can already tell you what that means for me. But if you have a sweet tooth, this would 100% be my wife's choice, you can enjoy delicious tastings of chocolate treats infused with some of the local ingredients like chilies, different kinds of nuts, lavender, some very unique kind of chocolate tasting. Or you can channel your inner James Bond and opt for a tour featuring Santa Fe's major spy hangouts. You'll kind of learn about some of the drop-off points where KGB spies exchange top secret information during the Manhattan Project, which we know a lot about. So for me, I am all about spies. I live in Hot Springs, Arkansas. There's a gangster museum, all those things. So for me, I think it's pretty obvious what my choice would be. We have phenomenal reviews from both. People love them. So whatever you like to do, it's already included. You just let us know, and we'll take care of that for you. You'll have the opportunity to enjoy a little bit of free time and further uncover Santa Fe a little bit on your own. So walking through some of the colorful art galleries sprinkled throughout the downtown area, shopping, so much from the handcrafts right there. You'll have the opportunity to do that. And then we're going to take in the crisp New Mexican air as we stroll along the fronts together. We'll bring everyone back. You'll have the opportunity to experience that, as well as the lively scene on Canyon Road. And as you walk kind of to your farewell dinner, because we're right there in the heart of the city, we're going to get to see and experience the art district, which is home to over 100 galleries, some with collections displayed on the street that you can literally see right there on the street as we stroll by. So bring your jacket as we walk to our farewell dinner this evening. We're going to have a fantastic farewell dinner in one of the local restaurants, and will, to me, really get a piece of home. During the pandemic, so many people have talked about travel, but there's so much beauty in our own backyard, and this is going to give you the opportunity to see that. And so, as always, we will toast at a farewell dinner to a fabulous trip. We have our hometown pickup, so we'll pick you up, take you to and from the airport, so you don't have to worry about dealing with the wonderful Kansas City airport. We'll take care of that for you. If you'd like to go in early or stay later into Santa Fe, we can do that as well. Or elite airfare if you're looking for an upgrade on your flight experience, or any of the optional excursions, we'll handle all of that for you. And of course, we have our no worries travel protection that we've had for a very long time at Collette. You can cancel for any reason up until 24 hours before you depart and receive a full cash refund. And in fact, on this tour, you can cancel all the way up until July 1st and get 100% of your money back, including the insurance. And so after July 1st, the only thing that you lose is the cost of the insurance. But you're also covered on tour, medical assistance, evacuation, lost baggage, whatever it may be on this tour. It truly gives you the peace of mind that you don't have to worry about what is happening outside of the world that you can control. If you traveled in 2018, we're going to give you $100 off your final payment. If you traveled in 2019, we're going to give you an additional $150 off. And if this is your very first tour that you've ever gone with us, all you do is sign up. We'll automatically add $150 off of your next tour. If you travel within 2 years, we'll take $100 off. The domestic ID However you fill out your registration form, whether it be online or you fill out the actual form and give it to Carrie and Michelle, please make sure that you have your updated information. So if you have your domestic real ID, of course, this was going to be October 1st of 2020. They have pushed that back. You can also use your passport if you would like. I just always stress to people, please make sure that you use the ID that you filled out the paperwork with. Some people's passports are a little bit different than their real IDs. So please do make sure that you fill out the information as it is on your ID that you're going to be utilizing. And to learn a little bit more about the destination, if you want to know about the hotels or accommodations, clothing, packing tips, electricity, whatever it is, please go to this web link. You can click on it and we'll give you all the information, which Carrie is going to put in the chat as well. And so that being said, we have changed that fully refundable until July 1st. As I mentioned, book now, you're going to save $100. Deposit is $600. Your insurance is $299, which is 100% refundable up until July 1st. Your final payment will be due on September 6th, making your total price, land, air, taxes, everything, $22.99. So I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to turn back on our cameras, and I'll be happy to go through some questions. One of the things that I've been kind of jumping on right out of the gates is COVID. What are the restrictions? What are the policies going on? We have greenlit some tours to already operate in April. And so we're very excited about that. We will always be in line with the government mandates, the protocols, the CDC. So with that being said, with the tours that we're operating in April, we will be monitoring what is going on, what are the protocols, what are the mandates, social distancing. So we may have 2 motor coaches to break it up, leaving about 35% of the motor coach open. Masks and all of that as well. Of course, we have in-depth cleaning services, which will continue on regardless of the mandates by the protocols. That's something that we have implemented from a Collette standpoint. We will not require the vaccine. It is not something that, we are not doctors, we are travel professionals, but we will definitely be in line. What I have told people is that there's probably going to be 3 kind of parameters in travel. Number 1, do you have the vaccine? Number 2, do you have proof that you had COVID and have the antibodies? Or number 3, you'll just have to take a test. And so with that being said, right now there is no stipulation for domestic travel to require a test. And I don't think that there will be, quite frankly, as the vaccine comes out, the herd immunity numbers are dropping. We fully anticipate by the time this tour operates that we'll be operating from a pretty normal perspective. So you can expect probably around 35 to 40 people on this tour if that is the case. However, if there are mandates, protocols, or we have spikes, we will absolutely adhere to any of those so that you don't have to worry about it. As I mentioned previously, you have up until July 1st to cancel, get 100% of your money back, including the insurance. If you cancel after that, the only thing that you're out is the cost of the insurance. And if for whatever reason we cancel the tour, you don't have anything to worry about. We automatically refund you every dollar that you have put in. So with that being said, I will open it up for questions. And yes, so Rick has asked if they choose to drive to Santa Fe, I will send that to Carrie. And I don't have that cost right at my fingertips, but I will definitely get it to Carrie so she can follow up with you if you choose to drive there and just do the land package.
And Rick, if you just want to email me, so I know exactly which Rick goes with this question, send me an email, and then once Kenny sends it to me, I'll get that to you.
Absolutely. One of the questions is, our trip in 2020 was canceled by Collette. Would we be eligible for a loyal discount? If you had traveled in 2019, yes, we just rolled that over. If, let's say, 2020 was your very first trip, then no, we don't have a loyalty discount as you didn't actually travel. So we're kind of bypassing 2020. So as long as you had loyalty in 2018 or 2019, we will apply those to the 21 trips.
Kenny, I have a question. What's the weather going to be like there in December?
So it is going to be cooler, as you can imagine, anywhere in December. One of the nice things is when we get in the mountains and we kind of visit, when we go outside, it is going to be a little bit cooler as we head north, probably 40s into lower 50s. Now, when we're actually in Santa Fe, you can probably expect mid 50s and at times even low 60s. In the evening, it will get a little bit cooler. So I'll definitely remind everyone to bring your coat and things as you go. But it's going to be a lot better than it's going to be in the Kansas City area. I can tell you that.
Perfect.
Any other questions? As I said, this is one of our, we released this spotlight in 2018 or 19, and it was already trending to be our top, it was already in our top 2 of domestic tours. So, we're really excited about this, from the culinary, the history behind it. And for me, the Native American experience, that's what this country was founded on. That's who we were, and I love the history behind that. And so it really does give you a Spanish, a Mexican, the Native American feel. There's so much mixed into this particular part of the region. It really does make for a fantastic trip. So if you have any other questions, please either put them in the chat box or let me know. And if not, Carrie and Michelle have all my information. They have no problem tracking me down to get answers later, and I'm always happy to answer anything that I can.
Definitely. We are so excited that you guys are interested in this trip. Like Kenny said, it's a fabulous opportunity to go. So again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know, give me a call, shoot me an email.